As always, chat, get involved. Who's going to win this one? Guts or OBABO? Let us know. It is time for our last quarterfinal of this competition here in the lower bracket before we move on to the semi-finals, the best of fives coming away later on today. For now, though, let's see exactly which units they bring to this party, this firework extravaganza. OBABO versus Guts. Over to Sam and Say.
Here we go. Both players find themselves in a little bit of a rut right now. Is Bella the answer? Or simply showing some guts? As we can see, OBABO versus Guts, we have Chungpung and Maw both being pre-banned out in the beginning, meaning that OBABO is first picking that Heigang, which we were expecting, Say.
Yeah, definitely a unit that he has been picking up quite some the last few weeks, but also a unit that Guts didn't pick up that much before, as I'm familiar with, is that Carnal, and definitely Guts picking up that Carnal and Pra. We're going into a very bruiser matchup right here, at least from the side of Guts. OBABO could still decide to go very strong on that first turn, but he would have to draft in something around his Athena. Actually decides to go for Shizuka plus Han.
Oh no, we've seen a Shizuka. We just mentioned it earlier. She had a 16% win rate last weekend. So maybe OBABO's got different plans for her during this weekend, partnering it up with the Han. And Guts coming again. We've seen familiar faces on the field with the Heigangs, with the cigars. Europe setting a new meta, right?
Yeah, definitely, and I definitely like to see that Cigar. Also, the combination of Cigar plus Carnal is very strong. And what makes these Slayers so strong is that every skill is impactful. A skill 1 is still a Provoke, and a Provoke is technically a CC form as well. So all of their skills always work, picking that up with that Nana, which kind of prevent OBABO from going for single target snipes, because that's prevented by that Nana. However, Ganymede, we haven't seen too many of those, which is technically a similar unit as the Cigar, as the Chungpung, but does it slightly differently, and I definitely like to see that being picked up together with that Robo.
Here we go. Nana and Ganymede are actually first time they've been selected during our EU prelims, so interesting to see. We might have a new unit coming through into these matches. Looking for an Etna. Okay.
I definitely do like that Athena as well. This is going to be the battle of the speeds. The moment that you ban out the Robo, who's going to take first turn? The moment that you ban out the Athena, who's going to take first turn? And that's going to be who has the highest rune quality on his high-speed bruisers. That are those units. We do have the units on the side of Guts with a lot lower base speed, so it might go first turn towards OBABO. And we have that Han being banned out, and we have that Athena being banned out. Robo will probably take first turn.
Let's see if it's right. They're both going in with HP percentage lead. Karna with a little bit more than the Shizuka. As we get into our last best of 3 in the losers round. Match 4, set number 1. Guts versus OBABO. First turn does go to that Robo.
Yeah, goes to the Robo and then moving for the Heigang next. Actually, he misses one strip, but he decided to push back so much on the other 3 units that he still got a full attack bar, which is pretty interesting. And in this case, it's going to be a lot of the damage that OBABO can do with that Robo. There's going to be a lot of denying of turns over here. And in this case, goes for the Cigar, doesn't let it on the Cigar fully. The issue is you can't go for skill 3 right now. You do need it because of that immunity, because as I mentioned before, Cigar has that skill 1 Provoke, would have landed on that Robo if you didn't went for that immunity right there. But we have Pra still with the skills being up, so Pra can maybe go for some strips, some stunts, anything.
Nope. No strips because Heigang's on the field, eh? We're going to give all of that back up to the side of OBABO. He can ventilate. Well, there's going to be a lot of resetting the whole time for these units. Shizuka now with all 3 skills available. Again, more immunity on her side and probably going to give another cool time skill down for the Robo, I can imagine, or maybe even...
Yeah, I would definitely go for the Robo, because the Robo you can cycle more back and forth. In this case, decides to go for the Ganymede, but if maybe the Robo already has all of the skills, if Carno goes for a proc and does do a lot of damage on that Robo actually. It's not enough to let him leave the battlefield. That could definitely be nice, but we have 1 turn away from the skill 3. If he would have had the skill 3 in there, he would have maybe had enough damage to actually seal the deal on that Praha already as well.
Yeah, here we go. So Ganymede coming in. Skill 1 is available for him. So is he going to put Glance in? Wow, big proc there. Managing to get into skill 3, meaning he's going to be resetting someone's cool time and hopefully pushing everyone back for OBABO. Does manage it.
Yeah, definitely that pushback was very much needed, but the Pra is not pushed back. The Pra is probably, by the sliver of health. If the Pra actually died, it would have been better, but we get another stack from that Carnal taking so much damage. The moment that Praha leaves the battlefield and procs back, we do see that Daydream coming in, and that's going to be full HP for Guts if that managed to happen.
Oh, there we go. We've seen the importance of that skill 1 Provoke right there, say. Nana, can she land defense breaks? Nothing landed with Glancing. That's huge.
Yeah, that's definitely huge. But in this case, Praha, the moment that the Praha takes a turn, my eyes are all on that Praha. There's so low HP bar on that whole field. Doesn't get stunned by that Hey Gang. And Praha's going to move next, if I'm not mistaken. Has that Daydream. That's going to be so much HP on the side of Guts. And I think that will be a game-winning potential for Guts over there to have all of that healing back. Carnal has been doing so much damage, left, right, center, even with like glancing. He's just doing so much damage, gets a proccing, kills off the Ganymede. We have 2 stacks on that Nana right now, and I definitely don't see OBABO coming back from this.
No, I can't see it for right now. We've got Shizuka, she's got second skill, she's going to bring back Ganymede. Only using first skill, I think that was maybe some sort of auto right there, because we've got Carnal using the provokes on Shizuka. And Cigar's going to hit that hard with the third skill, landing even more provokes. Wow. Huge there for Guts. I mean, it's a little bit early, but I'm going to call it. Guts coming away with a 1-0 against OBABO in this very first set of our last match of the best of 3, say.
Yeah, definitely very well played by Guts. For OBABO, he could have maybe decided at some point to reset that Praha as well, because Praha was the game resetter. Guts was very low on HP on all of the units. Like 1 or 2 more hits from anything from OBABO towards Guts, and Guts would have pretty much left the battlefield with all 4 units. But that Praha, taking finally that turn, getting that Daydream in, doing so much healing, pretty much just sealed the deal.
It did seal the deal for Guts to make that win. I'm wondering now, the pre-bans are going to be taking their time in order to fix what they're thinking of doing. Again, just to add, Shizuka still didn't have a win there. Shizuka, do not have her in your draft today.
Yeah, exactly. We saw it time and time again. We actually spoke about it before this stream as well. Shizuka is so often showed like, hey, she resets, but then you want to do a skill. We actually saw that in the previous match as well. We had the revive, and then Ganymede couldn't use a skill 3. We have seen it with Oniyuki's before. We have seen it with Hans before. The revive on the skill 2, lowering that cooldown before, was very strong. In this case, we see a Hey Gang ban on the side of OBABO because he know Guts picks that up as well. We've seen Asher pre-ban on the side of Guts, which is pretty interesting.
It's interesting. I mean, OBABO responding quickly with the Etna and the Shizuka again. So she's back on the field. Let's see if we can improve that win rate for OBABO's side. And we're going double Slayer. We've got Carnal and Cigar. And Cigar, we know, has been picked a lot of matches in our EU prelims so far. Yeah. Crucial with that third skill, provokes on the first skill. Like you say, the whole kit can do a lot when it's used correctly.
Yeah, definitely, and I definitely do like to see the pair of them too as well, because they really synergize well. One does a lot of damage, but still has the provokes in there. But OBABO says like, okay, Carnal had quite some damage last round. Let me show you real damage. We have that Han and Bella being picked up. That is a lot of damage on the side of OBABO.
Yeah, it's a very trademark style of OBABO's play, using that Bella in Han. Oh, maybe Guts is going to bring out one of his LDs in form of Cracker. Let's see if he actually locks that in. But I can add as well, Bella again, we saw with Raxaz. Did get a win on one of the matches, but it didn't end up winning the whole thing for him. Partnering now the Cracker with a Raccoon. No, deciding for the Wind Robo instead.
Wind Robo was pretty interesting. Wind Robo would only take the first turn if OBABO doesn't decide to go for Dark Robo right now. Because if OBABO picks up the Dark Robo, no matter how the draft goes, if he bans out that more, OBABO will take first turn and has the driver seat over there. But then you're still fighting a lot of those dark units from the side of OBABO. Can you actually, or not dark units, fire units, can you actually take that down with that Afna if something else is banned? OBABO actually decides to go for a unit that will 100% say, I'm banning out that more, because more can very much deal with that Douglas. On the other side, do you expect that ban as well? And do we have those mind games, and would you ban it for that reason?
Here we go. I mean, it's a crucial set right now. If Guts manages to win, there was a lot of mind games because more has been banned out, and the Douglas, meaning that OBABO is taking hand with the speed lead and the HP lead from Carnal. This could be the deciding set. Guts versus OBABO. If Guts wins, he will be going through to our semi-finals. If OBABO brings it back, we're going to be going to set 3. Taking first turn, Etna.
Yeah, Atna with the first turn, but we have second turn going on La Bella, and I'm not 100% sure. Did not get that stun. That's... Oh, we have Raccoon moving next. You have to push back the Raccoon, and that's 100% resistance in most cases. Bella, how much accuracy do you have? This is going to be difficult, because if you don't kill right now, you either have to kill, doesn't kill. You can fully boost up the Robo right now. You have AoE strip. You have AoE stunts, you have AoE resets, you have AoE slows. There's so much going on the side of Guts right now with that insanely fast Raccoon. Like, how fast is this Raccoon? Is that a swift Raccoon?
Oh my god, like, honestly, the fact that he could take the turn and cleanse off for that, for the Robo, and then coming into second skill, I don't think OBABO's going to be able to take a turn here, say.
No, and I would have to ask Guts, and I'm definitely going to ask Guts, but I definitely do think that that is a Swift Raccoon. And that made so much sense here, cutting in at the perfect moment, in between the Bella to the Han. And that is very much doing your homework. That's very much looking at exactly what the enemy is using. And that's going for a clean 2-0 with a very decisive match on the side of Guts. And that's a great victory to Guts.
Wow, the French guy getting closer to Paris.